Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the intermediate grand final for ozfortress season 27. We're going to be watching What the Fuck Am I Doing versus the Dream Circle Jerk. My name is Michael, and tonight I'm joined by the one and only eepily. How are you going this evening? Or morning for you, I guess.
I was gonna say this about midday. I'm doing pretty good. I've been getting all my little bit of research in by just asking you dumb questions to try and work out what's actually going on. But yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see what's happening, what kind of skill levels, what kind of players we've got going on. Just across that short little pond.
Yeah, it's a good get to see some good quality Australian TF2. Second highest division. We've got some good teams against each other, teams and players that have been around for quite a while. So this should be some good stuff tonight. As I said, we do have What the Fuck Am I Doing versus Dream Circle Jerk. I think we'll probably just get it out of the way at the beginning. We'll go down the rosters of each team so everyone's familiar.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I'll bring us down. What the fuck am I doing? So we'll have Weaponfire and Davey on the scouts. We will have Seraph, who I believe is playing Pocket, and then Feggy on Roma. You've got Bonk on Demo Man, and then Rav4 on Medic. They've been around for a few seasons, finally getting to the grand final. If you want to go down the Dream Circle Jerk.
Yeah, I can go off the information I've been given in that there should be Dubious and Mist on the scouts. I recognize Mist, but only because he's a Dutch player in Europe, so likely not the same person.
Probably not.
Jack and Rohan on the soldiers. No idea which one is which. There's a Daz Demo and a Mac Medic.
Yeah, definitely. I think for the soldiers, from what I've seen, Rohan plays Pocket, and you've got Jack on Roma. But yeah, we've got two really good teams here. I think if anyone's been watching Australian TF2 over the past few seasons, you might recognize What the Fuck Am I Doing. They came third place in intermediate last season, made some roster changes between seasons, and have been in really strong form this season. Kind of powering through, only lost 2 maps so far, and actually really convincingly beat Dream Circle Jerk 2 weeks ago in the upper bracket final to secure their spot here. Yeah, they've been in really good form, but Dream Circle Jerk, they're in the grand final for a reason, beating Drug Lab last week in a very close game, but it was still a 2-0 for them, so they'll be happy to get this rematch on some very familiar maps for both teams.
Yeah, this was something we were just kind of talking about just before we went live. The picks and bans were very, very similar to what I believe was seen slightly previously. So I would imagine a lot of people who have been paying attention, maybe favoring the side of the WTF boys slightly more. There might be a slight favoritism there, but I mean, on the day, anything can happen. We were talking about, obviously, the fact we are going to be seeing Sunshine directly into Product, and Product as a map, like, weird things can happen. I'm, not 100% sure what the reasoning behind the pick for that may have been, but honestly, like, sometimes you just hit all of your shots, and it can, like, completely turn the tides of that kind of game. The same is true to a lesser extent on some of the other maps. Like, Sunshine is historically a very, very scout-centric map. What if your scouts just get like 90% accuracy, hit every shot again? Like, I feel like there may be a slight preference for one side or the other, but it isn't over just yet. There's a lot of TF2 still to play.
Yeah, I think jumping on a little bit, but I want to put this into the beginning as a kind of a precursor for what might happen in this game. Mist is a very confident sniper player. And when he's on, he is one of the scariest snipers, not just an intermediate, honestly, in Australia. So I think if they get to Product and Mist is really kind of hitting the ground running, they might be able to get the upper hand on What the Fuck here and maybe push it to a third, which is Snake Water. And that's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about for the Dream team here, that the other 2 maps outside of their pick are the 2 maps that they lost to What the Fuck Am I Doing 2 weeks ago on in the upper bracket final, and they were pretty convincing games. So I'm hoping that they've done their research here, maybe gotten a few different strategies, reviewed those demos, so that way they can bring something different to the table here and not have a repeat.
Yeah, this is something which at least, I mean, it tends to happen less online, at least in the games that I've seen, slightly more on land, but there's a lot that can be said for just teams actually sitting down, like, reviewing demos, even games where they've been absolutely rolled. There's so much you can do directly in terms of counter-stratting. Like, you would imagine, considering WTF's been like pretty confidently winning games throughout the season, you would have thought that most other teams will have been looking at them throughout the rest of the season and going, okay, they're going to be in the grand finals, therefore you can reliably commit time to countering them directly. So, you know, obviously Dream Circle Jerk, they went against them in a game very, very recently. They will have had time to review the demos. They would have time to see exactly what went super wrong for them and what went super right for WTF. And we may just get to see some of that nutty counter-stratting or some of those good things. I would be slightly disappointed if we just see a repeat, because then that kind of feels like, you know, they're just trying to like get blood from a stone, beating their head against a brick wall. You know, I want to give those boys a little bit more credit here. I feel like they must have at least some kind of magic. And worst case scenario, you just start doing weird stuff like crits to mid, heavy, sniper, all that kind of stuff, right? Because whatever happens, you do not lose in the same way, right? Like you go out fighting.
Yeah, definitely. If it's the same thing, then you know what's the point in letting the same maps go through? They're bans. Both teams ban the exact same map, so I you know think it's quite obvious that you know Dream Circle Jerk, they maybe were just, you know, doing comfort bans, basically banning out maps that they were just not comfortable on, or banning maps that maybe they know WTF are particularly strong on. But yeah, that same phase is kind of, it has me worried a little bit. I know that Dubious, one of the scouts for Dream Circle Jerk, he's, you know, he's a brain gamer, right? He's kind of been around a little while, kind of knows the scene quite well, and has a good mind for the game. So I think he's, you know, hopefully had a chat with his boys, and, you know, maybe they can have some special strats up their sleeves. As it looks like we should have the game actually up and running soon. 11 players in the server with one team readied up.
I'm keen.
Yeah, me too. I will do some very quick predictions. Me personally, call me the bias caster. I have big faith for WTF here. They're my boys that started playing TF2 with a lot of these guys, and just with their performance throughout the season, it's hard to not back them. So yeah, I think they will win this map probably like a 4-1. I don't think we'll see the 5-0 on Sunshine. Dream Circle Jerk has been pretty solid on this map throughout the season, but I think it will still be a big enough of a gap to where WTF will be comfortable throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, I will also make predictions based on my next to no knowledge and what little knowledge I have is recycled from you. Everything I've heard in the past 30 minutes makes me think this should be WTF's map to lose, right? Like this should be at least something where, from their point of view, from the other team's point of view, if somehow they do manage to lose this, I feel like surely the easiest way for Dream Circle Jerk to win the whole series is just to win the first map and just put WTF on tilt, right? Like whenever you lose a map which you think is comfortably yours, you're immediately just like upset about things. You're going to be on tilt, right? But yeah, I think realistically it should be WTF's fully.
Yeah, it should be here. As yeah, I'm trying to think. So we're on Sunshine. I think in particular on this map, if anyone is wanting to keep an eye out for players, I would definitely recommend Davey here. Davey, if you've been keeping an eye on Australian TF2 for as long as Australian TF2's been a thing almost, then you'll recognize Davey. Years ago, you know, real up-and-comer, shot through the divisions, first place in Division 3, Division 2, 2 seasons in a row, then made a pretty good show for himself in Div 1. And he's come back. He's been on really good form this season. I know a few people were saying when he came back that, you know, will he be as good? Because he was replacing Bread, who's another player very similar, very high mechanical skill and a good mind. But Bread was a little rusty when he was playing, but Davey, like I said, he's been really good the past few seasons. As we do have a ready up, and we're going to go into the first mid. As let's have a look. I want to be watching the Bonk versus Daz here. Bonk, he's been one of the best demos in the division, and I think Daz has been pretty much on his tail the entire time. Bonk will get a little bit of a head start on the rollout, and he's actually really aggressive, putting a lot of stickies on the choke. That's going to slow down the scouts on the Dream Circle Jerk here. You're going to see Seraph very high in the sky, and he'll actually die in the enemy's choke right away, as we've got Jack on Spy, and he's actually going to go, he'll whiff the stab onto Rev and actually die for it. What's he doing? You've got 2 players down on each side right now, weapon fire falling for what the fuck, and that's going to be them backing out. And, I mean, they had something different.
Yeah, I credit where it's due. I feel like they kind of already won the mid-fight a bit before then. Like, I've never seen 2 more disjointed soldiers from the side of WTF. Like, they just jumped one, and then a solid, like, 7-8 seconds later, they jumped their second one. The bombs were just getting nothing at all. I'm almost a little bit disappointed they ended up with the Spy. They could have probably won that just a little bit cleaner, but, I mean, worst case scenario, they do have a Spy for this little stalemate now. It is an equal Uber situation. I mean, WTF is going to be aware that Jack is just running around. He is being a little bit sneaky, but I mean, they can't watch everything at all times.
Oh, he's bumped into the soldier. They don't know. Okay, he rocket jumps. They will kill him for the second time. As we're going to have even Ubers here. And I don't think... Yeah, what the fuck? They're just going to be looking at making the sack here. 1 rocket on the Mac. A lot of damage in that one, but no one to follow up, as he will get the pack and regen up. And we're just going to be looking at more sack waves here. Neither team wanting to make the first big mistake of the series.
No, that's it. These early kind of parts of the game, it's obviously super important not to let anything too disastrous happen. On the side of WTF, obviously, they've got to be super, super careful, because everyone knows, you know, the #1 rule of Sunshine is if you wipe on second, you lose last. That's the easiest way to lose rounds. So they're going to be super, super aware that their position is just a little bit scary. We do see Jack once again on Spy. I believe he went to the Sideshow School of Thought. Can't go Spy forever. He's going in again. He's trying to butter knife. Not hitting it at all. And yeah, straight to spawn queue again. Actually,
a lot
of damage there.
Yeah, that was, I think, a stray pipe from Daz. You know, if maybe 1 more butter knife had landed, maybe that's a different situation for WTF there, is you're going to have Seraph go in again. More damage just being traded out for these meds. Roma for Roma both times. And will Jack go Spy again? He's actually gone up Engineer. Is he leaving the spawn door? I see him standing there. Yes, he has left. He is building a teleporter, so they're wanting to play the long game here, winding down the clock. 3 minutes in the sunshine.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
So I guess we did say if they want to try and stand a chance of winning here, they need to do something different. This wasn't what I was expecting necessarily, the perma Spy into Engineer, but I mean, realistically speaking, on the side of WTF, if they just keep sending in a single soldier, like, I don't know, this gun is just going to deny him without anyone else even having to, like, play the game. At least this will, like, worst case scenario, it's going to force WTF to do something slightly more creative than just bullying their soldier and giving him terrible logs.
And it might also open up an opportunity if Dream Circle Jerk can get a sack in and kind of delay the counter sacks from WTF coming in. They've got a teleporter up, so that could maybe put them in a situation where, you know, they're taking a disadvantageous fight where they thought the player wouldn't be there in time. But that's, I don't know quite what they're going for here. The gun's in a spot to pretty much just cover the sacks. You've got Max sitting pretty much right on top of it. And I think WTF may have caught on at this point. I'm sure they can hear the gun leveling up. You've got Bonk actually taking this through the choke. He'll get the Uber, and look at killing the gun only. The Uber hasn't been forced out from Dream Circle Jerk here, and they're just going to bring it straight through choke.
Oh my days. Okay, well, they managed to trade an Uber for a gun and an Engineer, and actually WTF lets it back all the way through second as well. They lose Bonk, which is kind of scary. They're actually now looking to fully commit after losing these couple of players. It is a 4v4 fairly even situation, but the heals on the side of Dream Circle is looking just so much better right now. These pipes raining down from Daz is super, super crucial. We have to have a bit of a chase on. It does look like Rav's going to get out, but they've been giving up second here, and honestly a little bit scared towards the last 8 seconds before the spawns come in, and looks like the Dream Circle is just be walking straight on in towards his left-hand side. Once again, getting onto Bonk and taking him down.
Yeah, definitely, and both scouts doing a lot of work here. Missed having to back out a bit, but man, that was just like really fast. They've got a lot of presence here with a gun actually going up on the last. We'll get taken down right away. But with a lot of WTF going really low, they're just going to have to try and get out of this here. Mac has gone down, but you've got too many players swarming the right side of WTF's last. They're just going to stand on the point. Oh no, don't let the taunt get it. Okay, Mist will clean up the cap. Jack getting a little bit ahead of his team. They're trying to taunt before the round's over, but they'll clean it up, and that's a 1-0 in the favor of Dream Circle Jerk. That was a that was an interesting round. We've got Jack on Engineer again. Oh boy, but he's not showing up to mid. He's
okay,
just swapped a soldier. What? Okay,
What
not
are they
committing to
doing?
it. They're taking a 5-man mid here. Jack really slow on the rollout, and Rohan's kind of going to have to hang himself out to dry here. Oh, but Jack really fast rollout. He's going to get right on top of Tetris, but gets shot down immediately. And Dream Circle Jerk, they're just kind of sitting in their own choke. Mac hasn't left the entire mid. Rohan will get killed late as well. And that's both soldiers down. They're gonna tuck their tails between their legs and get out of there. But WTF, they want blood, and they're gonna look for it.
Yeah, it's got to be like so scary right now if you're on the side of Dream Circle. They just need to like try and back up, whatever happens, do not have their medic die. Daz is going to die super late as well. And now they're going to lose another player. This is pretty scary times. Everything they just worked for with all that spy engineer play might actually all be for nothing as the Uber comes in on the side of WTF. They do actually drop Jack as well. They're having a flash a lot already. This is being 100% soldier on the side of WTF, and the rest of the team just seemingly walking in completely for free. They're just about getting spawned on the side of Dream Circle Jerk. They're trading some damage towards point, but there's going to be nothing they can do. And just like that, it's going to be equalized.
And that was a very quick change of pace. Interesting to see how much, you know, Jack going engineer for the first 10 seconds of that round really played into it. Quick rollout, got furthest in on anyone on his team, but it looks like we've got standard things coming out from both teams again. Jackie's just doing a normal Valley rollout. As we've got both Demomen just kind of sitting outside their cafes waiting for heals. They'll both get them now as WTF, they are taking a little more ground. You've got Seraph up on the bell tower there. And actually a lot of damage is getting put on the Mac by the soldiers, in fact. Faggy putting a lot of damage onto him. And they're going to look at bombing him. Seraph will go for Daz, who will get cleaned up by weapon fire. Bonk actually cleans up Mac as well, and this is going to be the crumble from Dream Circle Jerk here. They try and get Rav. He'll eat a bit of damage, but he'll be out with Davey before they can do anything. And Mist, he's going to try and leak behind and get something done.
Yeah, Mist has gone behind, but they are 100% aware of it. He's going to try and go for a fast little play here. The second he stands the point, obviously, 4 men are going to turn around, and he's surely not going to be long for this one. He's going to take them out 1 versus 2. He's actually getting a lot of damage, but he's not going to secure the frag, so that death won't really be for anything too much here. It's going to be a 3-second take. And it's going to be Dream Circle Jerk setting up with an NG and a heavy straight on last mount.
Yeah, and Jack, he was immediately on it. I don't think there was any hesitation for him to go to the off-class. It's something he's known for, a bit of the meme off-class thing. I think I caught a bit of their 3rd place game last week, and I'm pretty sure I saw him with a level 2 gun outside the enemy's last on Snake Water, so he's got a bit of a reputation for himself. He'll get that level 3 gun up in a good spot. And you've got the Uber coming through from WTF from under. They'll look at dealing with that gun right away as it is already dead. But there's Uber is going to run out before they can get a lot of damage onto this Heavy. He's just falling below the buff as the traps will clean up Bonker. And this is a really strong hold coming out from Dream Circle Jerk here. Heavy getting arrow after arrow. And Davey and Rav, they're just going to have to back out as they don't have anyone chasing them right yet. And this should be a full Uber ad push out of last from Dream Circle Jerk.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a missed opportunity actually just then from Jack. I don't think he was quite aware of where the enemy Medican Scout was quite leaving from. He had a bit of a spot where he could have maybe caught them, but at the same time for Dream Circle Jerk, it's fairly safe right now. They have their 50 ad. They can't take forever, so they're still moving all the way towards Valley, trying to avoid this spam. The Sold's going to be going jumping in. Knight is getting a lot of damage, and the Force just only now losing his life, but it is ultimately just a bit of a trade here. They're trying to jump forward, trying to at least force the enemy team out. But Jack's taking the very unfavorable 1v1 with the Scout. He's just about going to escape, but Rav's getting his Uber any second now. WTF is going to be having no interest in giving up this point for free right now. They want to try and fight it tooth and nail, as Rav is going to be using his own Uber, but there's not really anyone near for them to actually take down. Everyone on the side of Dream Circle just kind of scattered. It is going to be Mist somehow picking up 1 frag before going down himself, and it actually potentially could be favorable if they can just get 1 frag on the side of Dream Circle Jerk. The damage has been dealt. Mac is getting quite disconnected. They're going to have to be really, really careful if they do want to fight this, but I appreciate how much WTF is, you know, they're respecting them. They're at least forcing them to get out, pressuring them a little bit, playing it nice and slow, and ultimately picking up Mac is going to be the only frag they need there.
Yeah, that's going to land them a pretty solid Uber advantage. They don't have to waste any time capping mid, and they're just going to barrel into second here. Rohan has to back out. Mist as well, falling back to Daz in lobby. And they'll get a second cap with about 70% Uber advantage by the time Mac does spawn. So I think they're just going to look at building the rest of this up. They've got all their players coming now. Seraph is the last one to spawn. And they'll just, I have a feeling, take lobby and just go straight in as, yeah, Dream Circle Jerk, they've just got no presence as lobby outside of these sticks as we have a pause.
We do. I was a little bit scared for a second. Maybe this was something on my end, but no, yeah, we're all good. It is going to be a little bit of a pause. And it's immediately unpaused. Clearly nothing.
But no, another pause again. Okay.
Okay, possibly like a DC then. Possibly a DC and someone with a very fast hard drive just rejoining instantly.
Who knows indeed. As yeah, look, I wanna take a look. You've got the same, it looks like pretty much the same last hold coming out from Dream Circle Jerk right now. Heavy up on the high, you've got Jack on the engineer, but you've got a Pyro up earlier this time. I think the Pyro was a little delayed in their last hold last time, which I think it was a successful hold, but then WTF just pushed back in later and cleaned up the round. So it's oh wait, no, that was this round. I'm getting my rounds mixed up. Yes, they pushed them back with this. So I know WTF got the Falubra this time. You know, oh wait, we've got a server shutting down. Well,
that's worrying.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna quickly send some messages and try and figure out what's going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. We will be back with you shortly, hopefully. I have no basis to say that, but I'm just optimistic like that, you know?
Hopefully it should be. We've got a few different options for servers that the players can use if they did have issues with that one. It looks like they've picked up another server just now, so. So yeah, it looks like we do have them swapping servers. Maybe some small issues with that one, as we should be back up and running pretty shortly.
Excellent. It can be pretty keen. I'm certain to get started nice and quickly. A little bit unfortunate though. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult to tell exactly what happened considering the STV delay and all that kind of stuff, but you would hope it wasn't during, I don't know, some super critical push or something along those lines. That's always like the absolute nightmare, you know. A team finally gets some momentum and then suddenly, you know, there's some like massive pause or server crash or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like there might be some more server issues. It may take a little bit longer than normal. One thing I will bring up, because we won't obviously be able to see what happened after that pause, but it looks like WTF did manage to push in and get that round. So it's now 2-1 for them, and I imagine that'll just be the scoreline they continue, because it looks like the pause happened right after the round. And, well, let's have a look a little further than the score. It looks like right now, well, Bonk and Daz are actually doing quite a lot of damage from the demos coming out so far. 361 for Daz, 351 for Bonk. Pretty good show here. As a shock to no one, Jack, with the amount of off-classing he's been doing on 89 DPM, but you know.
Is that number accurate? Is zero frags the actual number that he has?
You know, I think he got nothing on Spy. He didn't get anything on NG, and his soldier here just bombed in and died. So I guess it is.
Okay, so he's playing the mental game. Everyone else is playing the game, I guess.
That's hey, look, you know, whatever. They managed to get around with him playing Spy the entire time. So, you know, he's doing something right.
I am not arguing in any way. They definitely did get around there. Other than that, I've been fairly impressed. Like, you know, obviously just looking at the logs, but also just looking at the game, a lot of the team fights have been pretty even. Like the mid fights as well have been pretty even. Like, obviously, you know, I didn't see their most recent matchup, but I feel like there's kind of credit to be given to Dream Circle Jerk. They've been doing something, right? They've been doing something different. They've clearly put some effort into trying to make things, you know, much more reasonable to contest. And honestly, being one round at this point, like there's a lot of time left on the clock. There's, you know, it isn't like things are looking necessarily bad for them at all. There's a lot of games still left to play, and they've been looking, like I said, pretty good on the mid fights as well.
Yeah,
other than
definitely.
You know, some of the playing mid fights with 5 people, that seems excessive, maybe.
Just a little bit. I think if Jack can if Jack can get into the game, like add the game to his mental game that he's currently playing right now, they might stand
that'd be good.
a little bit more of a chance. I'm sure he's had an impact. The triple spy, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're at the very top or the very bottom, that'll throw you off. Especially first round, first map, when you're the favorite. Like, why are they running spy 3 times? But yeah, look, it's looking a lot better than a lot of people thought it would be for Dream Circle Jerk, as it looks like we do have players getting into another server. So it shouldn't be too much longer until we are good to go.
Yeah, that's it. It looks like they're getting themselves back in. I didn't see quite how much time was left on the clock. I think we were probably about 8 or 9 minutes or something in.
I think it was a little more. It was 11 or 12 minutes in. The logs show 10:58, so give it a little bit more for the between round. I think they've set the timer to 18 minutes left, so that's what the teams have come to an agreement on.
Pretty good, and everyone's getting themselves all set up, ready to go. So we should be going live again shortly.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we will be going into this next round just as a normal round. We're not going to have any teams going through and losing a mid fight, because that's what happened before the pause. I'm pretty sure the pause was just immediately after that last round. So
okay,
we should have pretty normal stuff.
We don't have to do that weird recreating. I always bring it up whenever there's situations like this. There was some game in some CS tournament 3 or 4 years ago where there was a server crash, same kind of thing as this, and they had to recreate literally frag for frag what happened in 7 rounds. So they would just walk around the server being and then you headshot me here, then I bought this gun, but then I dropped it anyway, and then I body shot you, and the whole thing, right? I'm glad we don't have to waste 5 minutes doing that. That's good. Feeling
no, I think I actually saw that game when it was happening. That's it's always funny when you have to see it do it.
That's like a legacy in esports, that is.
Definitely. So I think I just need to Therm, are you good to go for this? Sweet. So we should be up and running any time.
So the big question is,
if
we're going to be going into a new mid fight, what is the new off class going to be? Right.
Ooh, I think so he's played heavy NG spy. Jack isn't I mean he dabbles in pyro, but I really only see it on last. So maybe the sniper? You never know. I mean, it's not a terrible mid for it on Sunshine. You've got some sightlines. So it could happen, but hopefully for the sake of his team, he can stay on the soldier a little bit longer. He's been getting enough done, even if he hasn't been getting the kills. I feel like his impact's been there a little more. So
yeah, honestly, I feel like if he just actually plays the soldier class a little bit, I've been a little bit surprised. The WTF soldiers, some of their bombs, granted, some of the time it's been working, other times they've felt really, really disjointed, and it's actually been the scouts and the combo of Dream Circle Jerk have been able to deny their impact pretty heavily. I actually think in terms of initiation, I'd probably slightly favor the Dream Circle Jerk team in terms of on average for these mid fights. So I would actually think that from their point of view, they should just be really focusing on these mids. Everyone knows that the easiest way to kind of win a game and win rounds is to get really, really solid mids. And if they're already finding themselves in a slightly kind of, above 50% kind of success rate with what they're trying to do, obviously we can't really count the one where they played with 5. But if that's what they're seeing, I think they should just lean heavy into that. Just really, really focus. Right, let's get super sick initiations. Really focus on these soldiers. Win the mid fights. Take the rest of the game from there. Because you can almost win a game by being better at mid fights and worse at nearly every other part of the game, just by playing the Uber advantage. Right, it's such an important central part of the game.
Yeah, and especially on a map like Sunshine, where a big part of how teams can kind of stalemate around after they lose a mid and try and get an opening for themselves is that second point. When you're 6v6, it can be a little difficult to push in. So if you give that up, you almost have to give up lobby if your even Ubers are at a disadvantage. And that just opens up so much for the team to do. And if they're confident on the last pushes, there's not a lot that you can do to stop it. But on the contrary, Dream Circle Jerk, they've had, that one really good last hold that happened before the pause. So maybe the off-class prowess can get something done that WTF can't deal with.
It's very possible. I appreciate the full like triple off-class last holds they've been using, because honestly, like it just it just seems to work. It's not something we tend to see quite as much, I believe, on the European side of things. Usually kind of go for a couple and then trust in that. But honestly, like the pyro deny on lower combined with like a super buffed heavy, and then there's a gun and a slightly different thing, like just forcing them to have to spread their damage so much. I mean, so far it's been working decently enough. Obviously, we didn't see the one where they did in fact lose it, but yeah, I feel like, decent mid fights, decent last holds. Like these are some important fundamentals to make sure you have nailed down to try and find yourself some success in a game.
Yeah, especially in a game where you're the underdog, right? Like both times they've played, it's been pretty one-sided in the favor of WTF. So, to have those good last holds, those good mid fights, it's really good. You don't need to worry about the super, fancy stuff, the difficult things to coordinate. Just get those fundamentals down and hope that the other team trips up while trying to do those higher level plays.
Exactly. I think, right, what is happening right now? We are still 11 ready to go. Jack is working his way back into the server. We do have WTF readying up now. Jack once again joining his team. Everyone is looking very, very excited. Like they're going to ready up any second now. Come on, boys, you've got this.
Yeah, they've surely. I think they were being nice. They were waiting for us, but I don't think the message got through to them when we were actually ready. So a little bit of a delay in the ready ups, as we do have 12 in now, and we are seeing goods in the chat. So it should be any second now as we can get into the fourth mid fight. Now, okay, Jack, you need to stay on Soldier here. He will. Okay, he's staying on Soldier. He's getting this buff. He's going to roll out properly.
They win this mid-fight.
That's the good stuff.
They win this mid-fight straight up. I'm calling it.
Yep. It's done. It's done. You've got Bonk. He's botched his roll out a little bit rather. Going to mid quite low. Daz might actually get some really good spam on him here, but he just hasn't got the read. He's put the stickies onto the other players as Bonk has gotten himself healed up, and Daz actually getting the beam. Actually, really nice arrow coming out from Mac there, but Jack, he'll bomb in and die. As we're going to see the aggression come now. Weapon Fire will lose his life as Mist tries to get a little bit aggressive on his own right side along with Rohan, but Dream Circle Jerk, they were locked into their own cafe a little bit there, but they've gotten some room. Spam getting put onto Feggy, as you've got Bonk going really far forward with the beam on him. Seraph trying to get some space. Feggy's just kind of caught out here. That is Dubious and Rohan going down, as you will see the rest of Dream Circle Jerk back out. Seraph will try for something. He looks like he's been found by Jack, as Jack will not claim his first kill. Still on the goose egg.
As a spicy little frag just said, and actually that opens up second as well. The sticks are going to get dead way too early on the side of Daz as well. They're actually, oh god, they're in such an unpleasant situation here. They're actually going to lose Mist even before they Uber. Rav, he is going to use specifically to keep Bonk alive, which didn't necessarily need to, but considering the fact they should be picking up Mac here as well. Oh my god, Mac is somehow getting out of there and getting a saw. Doesn't even matter what happens on second. Oh god,
that's just how he's on the pack. He's a soldier, but it doesn't matter. WTF, they're going to push in the last 3v5 here, as they're just going to swarm to the point and overwhelm Daz, and that will be a clean third round for WTF. Although I say clean, the medic kill isn't great, but I mean, look, that was a pretty quick round for them. They'll be happy with that one regardless.
Yeah, they're not gonna be complaining too much, but they did try their best to throw it, and this might potentially be the start of some momentum on the side of WTF.
Yeah, definitely. We've got both Demomen here standing completely still, waiting for the arrows. Daz will get his bonkered up. We'll play a little game with his medic there. He's got Jack going in. He wants his first kill, but no, he's back. He's gone behind, and a lot of damage is being cleaned up on. With WTF kind of being forced into a really awkward position between Jack and the rest of Jack's team. Seraph being traded for Dubious there, as Jack, he's going to bomb in, try and get something on the Rav, but he will get cleaned up before anything can happen. But a nice sticky through the choke will clean up Rav, as some more player trading on Rohan, and Bonk It Up will end that mid-fight with sacks coming on to Mac now.
Yeah, there was absolutely crazy damage on that mid-fight. Weapon fire. He's going to get beaten down with a stick. He's going way too far forward on way too little healthy. Felt like he had no choice, but honestly, yeah, it was always going to be a little bit optimistic. We do have Seraph as well, I believe, hiding in this classy little choke point. Somehow missed, looked straight at him, just didn't see him at all. He's now going to get a free little bomb in and actually takes down Mac? What?
That's not a situation to hold, Mac. You pop there, you see him looking at you, he's right above you. But no, he will drop there. Jack will die again to Davey. He's just cleaning the way for his medic along with weapon fire, and they don't even need to catch second here. They might have heard Daz. It looks like Davey's gonna check, but he won't get any damage dealt. He will realize when the pipe saws right past him, but yeah, Daz is gonna be left here a bit. He'll try and, ooh, really close to getting something on the Rav there, as WTF are gonna try and get this mid for free after the demo went down.
Yeah, this should be nice and easy. There's going to be no one contesting them whatsoever. They're even going to deny Daz by several seconds, like 7 seconds before he's even up on last. And they've got a massive Uber advantage. Like, the dream here on the side of WTF is just to walk in nice and easy, not have to use their Uber, trade that kind of 50% advantage for the sake of getting on the second. They will get jumped, though. Super clean bomb from Jack. They're going to get that force, going to lose his life, but that is all that he needs to do for his team. Really clean stuff there. Going to make things nice and easy for a 70% advantage here on Mac, and they can go for the repush basically any second.
Yeah, they're just going to look. You see Rohan, he's already looking to poke forward into lobby. They've got the Uber coming up now, and they've changed their minds. They're going to go from unders, and they're actually going to pop up right on the point, but Feggy, he's gotten a really early force. They haven't even managed to get into the sunlight before they can get out, and yeah, WTF, they're all the way out. You've got Seraph trying to make some play in the back, but he'll get cleaned up by Rohan. As, yeah, it's going to swing the other way now. We've got about a 40% Uber advantage going in the way of WTF. But, oh, we've got Dream Circle Check playing a really fast game here, looking to clean up weapon fire. He will die before he can get the pack in his own cafe. And they're going to cap mid here. WTF will get forwards on everyone but weapon fire due to his late-ish death there. And, yeah, they're actually going to like this. I don't know, on the side of WTF here, do you like this? You've lost mid, you got the player disadvantage here. Actually, they've just leveled it up with the play. You've got Soldier Demo Scout going through Cafe now, but Jack, he's on the off class again. He's been found immediately on Heavy on the point. He's just going to get the, I mean, look, it's another force. And with the position that Mac's in right now, he'll get Uber like immediately and can actually roll this fight back in the mid. Rav in a really poor position.
They can absolutely nuke here. There's so much damage being dealt. Rat has gone so weak. He's somehow managing to kite everything. He's all the way towards choke. How is he possibly living? That's so... I'm going to say unlucky on the side of Dream Circle Jerk. I thought they had that in the bag. At least they'll get control of mid. They'll be taking down a soldier. You don't get to hide in that same spot again. No one's hiding in that spot for the rest of the game. Seraph's going to try and back out through there. He will escape with his life, which is pretty useful there. Not going to complain, but it is going to be ultimately Dream Circle Jerk taking control a second. Ubers are basically equal now as well. It's not looking too bad. It's going to come down to how much they can try and do in terms of last. Once again, Jack is on the regular soldier class. He'll get frags. I trust. He's going to get some frags any second now.
Yeah, definitely. But it almost feels like the way these past few fights have gone, you know, when he comes up on the off class is when it works best for them. I mean, being heavy on the roof there. He did get spotted immediately, but the land on the force, and I'm just... I don't know how Rav got out there. There were two players that were Ubered right in front of him. That it just still doesn't make sense to me. You've got Jack going in for the sack again. He'll get nothing shut down by the sentry. And as Seraph will counter, deading the stickies on the shutter door. And it looks like we might have a little bit of a stalemate here due to these even Ubers. And WTF, they want to keep control of lobby a little bit.
They do. They're going to be playing aggressive towards this right-hand side, trying to keep at least people away from going too deep on the right-hand side. There's obviously a lot of fear when it comes to aggressive players. We do see some aggressive spamming on the side of Bonk. He's not going to hit anything too much. Meanwhile, while all of this lobby action's happening, Jack has spawned on the engineer again. He's going to be building a gun on second. So that they know, I mean, worst case scenario, they can back up to second. And it's going to be pretty difficult between that massive height advantage on the side of that gun, it's going to be pretty hard for anyone to get too much onto Mac here. So maybe it's a bit of a free spot for Rohan to take the reins and try and get some big old forces of his own.
Yeah, maybe. He's doing a good job at keeping this gun down. It's in a pretty poor position. I'm not sure what he's quite doing setting it up there, as it's been taken down a second time now. You've got Dubious looking like he's going in for a sack, getting killed by Bonk. Because I think in a situation like this, can you even go for the sack? Because Rohan does, but that puts him at a 2-3 player disadvantage now as Mist gets caught in lobby. And you've just got Jack in the corner setting up a gun. But Bonk doesn't know he's there. Rav's found him. Rav has to back out, leaving his demo to die. As Bonk will die, actually gets the force in it, so it's not too bad. And that's WTF out, getting another kill for it. So that's not too bad for them.
Yeah, I agree. It's not too bad. I thought for a second that they were going to like massively over chase, but they did. They caught themselves just before they committed through that doorway. So, yeah, I mean, somehow in that entire situation, like dropping 3 before using, and then it still ends up just about okay. I mean, it's basically equal. They got equal people, equal players, equal engineers. It's all looking fine for them.
Oh, and actually Bonk going down really early. Nice aggressive play by Rohan there, as that's going to open up some space for Dubious on the sniper to peek into last. Neither team having Uber yet, but you've got Dream Circle Jerk being quite aggressive. The gun will go down, only level 1, so a full charge body shot will do the job. Dubious might overstay his welcome. 10 health getting out of lobby there with the double spam coming in from top left. As Dubious is going to try and take advantage of that, but again, he's just being shut down every time he tries to peek.
These cheeky little rockets from Rohan getting some nice directs on Seraph there, but ultimately it's not enough to keep himself alive here when someone else goes to peek on him, and it is going to be just a little bit having to concede some ground on the left-hand side. Bonk is still getting really aggressive. He knows his gun is just around the corner. It is going to be Jack moving that as well now, but might not be 100% aware. Both these demos just perfectly happy just to vaguely sticky at each other, you know. They're trying to put that little bit of threat in right now. We do obviously still have snipers who can peek and prod, but I mean, you've got to be aware it is only a 2-round advantage for the side of WTF, but it is only 8 minutes left on the clock. We need to start seeing some success in what's happening. Once again, Seraph is going to get picked off as the first guy here, so it does open things up a little bit. Potentially looks like they may have wanted to go for some kind of trade for just a second there. Yep, it is going to be Uber being used, getting straight in here towards Rav. It's going to be a decently better Uber here. That's going to be Bonk going in, picking up 1 frag already, but they actually lose Fakey as well. So this is actually just about a 5v5 situation. But then again, can he repush with an engineer? Is this the world we're living in?
I mean, neither team can take any ground because of the gun waiting for them on the other side. You've seen Dream Circle Jerk actually rotate their medic and demo to the other side of lobby to try and get some spam onto the gun, but they just can't get the room. As, wait. Oh, okay, that was a crit because of the escape plan, but you've got 2 picks coming in from Dream Circle Jerk. Bonk it up going down as the gun does take out Mist on entry without an Uber. It's going to be a little difficult to push in as the gun does go down. You've got the gun of Jack trying to get up, but Rav, he's been left alone on the point. The gun will actually get him. The lone scout not being enough to clean it up. Seraph goes for the suicide play on the point as we will see Dream Circle Jerk get their 2nd round. As that was just more insane. Like, 2 engineers on different teams, like, just locking each other in that lobby to last area. Just insane stuff. As we go on to...
There is nothing conventional about this game at all. Nothing.
No. From the triple spy into the both teams engineer. Onto this mid fight as well, where we have Jack on the spy again, and he's actually been found accidentally. But you've got really aggressive stuff coming out from Dream Circle Jerk here, as I think that is Jack's 2nd kill, and I think that's his 2nd onto the med as well. He will get the stab as WTF will try and make a play onto Mac. But... Oh, I know the scout. They will actually get a really nice pipe onto Mac there, as it's a 1v1. This is Davey versus Mist, and they're really even health. Mist will get the nice shot to clean up the mid. The lone survivor will win it for his team and celebrate on the point.
I mean, the spy, yeah, making waves. It is starting to work now. Like, all this weird stuff which has been happening is starting to work slightly more and more. We do see the scout and medic spawn on the side of WTF. They can be nice and early getting towards point. They're actually going to be able to basically cap the point before Dream Circle Jerk come back in, and we find ourselves in another pause.
Another pause and another spy. He's sitting behind Red Tetris, just waiting for his opportunity. And what he's disguised as a scout. So I'm curious because you've got Davey on the spawn right now. I don't know which scout he's disguised as. So if it's Davey, he might have hit some luck here if his teammates just aren't paying attention. But he's got Feggy coming up behind him from his cafe. So I don't know, if he goes for Rav, he might not be successful, but who knows? Who knows? I would not have said he could have gotten the med on that mid fight with all of his players bunched up, but he made it work. It is Jack.
He's got the brain, you know. He takes a while to warm up, you know, into his weird, crazy off classes, but like, so I'm just trying to think. Was it both of the rounds they've managed to win so far? Was when Jack was on engineer pushing last? I'm pretty sure it was literally both of them. Like, that is a 100% success rate, basically. Like, what he does somehow works.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. The first round that they did win, it was that very first one. I don't think he... Oh, you know, he might have played NG. He very well might have. That's insane. If that's the strat that they figured out to, you know, try and catch WT off guard. I mean, look, but whatever you need to do to win, and you know, as this when it eventually does unpause, then we should see whether, you know, Jack can get a little bit more, get more to his stats. As I did point out earlier, I'm pretty sure he's got 2 kills so far. He has gone up from the goose egg, but both have been onto Rav. Like, he got the spy kill on the mid fight just before, and then his gun got set up on the last push and actually killed Rav as he was trying to get Saws on the point. And it got the kill with a rocket, I think, after it got destroyed. It was just absolutely insane. So, yeah, it's
just got the brain.
Oh, just the big Highlander player brain. As we do have the unpause coming in, Jack, he hasn't been found yet. He'll get bonk and surf away with the cloak. Seraph will fall as well. I think WTF, they need to cancel any plans to push in here and just regroup with their team.
Oh, see, this is actually really scary for them. They're 2 down, so they have to back towards lobby. Jack is immediately on it. He's gonna be trying to button up onto Rav. Actually, combined with the spam, they managed to take him down. So they actually have a very sizable ad here. This actually could be everything they need to try and equalize this game here. I never would have said it based on the start, but I mean, it is massively working for them. It actually looks like they're going to be going aggressive all the way towards lower, get themselves into lobby already. They've just only got the Uber now on the side of Dream Circle. They don't seem to want to wait too long. Yeah, they're going to be going straight through lower now, not even using until they get all the way towards the point. They've got to be dealing with this Pyro first, take some decent damage. There's all of these players caught towards this right side by Spawn, both Medic and Demo super weak, but neither going down right now. They're trying to finally get some control of point. The damage is raining in, but it's actually going to be the frags now, mostly going in the way of WTF. Daz is jumping straight in to try and get onto Rav. He gets absolutely nothing at all. And it's going to be Mac, the final death, sealing their fate in a failed last push. I thought they had that in the bag.
Yeah, I feel like they had really early damage onto the gun. It went down right as their Uber came in. Really clean push, but I think just the chaos. They had the double off class come off of the engineer and one of their spawners. I think it was a lot of health. I know they had a heavy in there, and it's just, when you don't know the heavy's there right away and you've got your sights set on other people, it can be a lot of health to deal with late in the fight. As you've got Rohan going in to get a kill and choke, but Seraph and Feggy have both died for it with the Uber coming out. Davy's been actually left alone. He'll die. And, oh no, Rav's on so little health. Bonk's probably, if Rav gets out here, Bonk will need to die for it. And he does realize that, but it doesn't matter. They'll both die anyway.
Oh, that was such a fat hole. They knew how much disad they had, but I mean, they didn't really have a choice. Getting those picks before the Uber gets used was so crucial. And Davey getting dropped was just absolutely horrendous there. So now going to move towards the left-hand side. Mac's going to die before anything happens, though. Now went towards point just a little bit too early. They're going to get so much time, but there's all these players towards point. The big Bob's going to be getting some big damage in. But once again, they're not going to be able to just get that last little bit of the puzzle. Instead, we see Rohan hiding towards lower, but I mean, that is pure optimism jumping into all of these gamers. He'll get nothing. Melted.
Oh man, yeah, there's not a word that describes just how gone he was in one shot from Davey building on the point. He is out of this world. As we're gonna have about a 30% Uber advantage, and is that he got found at lowers, not even getting a chance to go in, Jack. Oh no, he's had a game. He's had a game of high highs and very low lows. But we're gonna see WTF. They're gonna position themselves in lobby as they come up on this Uber, and I'm curious. There's 2 minutes left. They are up. They will use the Uber through instead of trying to hold. And Bonk's gonna go really far in and try and actually lock Mac in. He will combine with the rest of his team for that late frag. Oh, but Seraph, sorry, has gone flying on last as an attempt will come in from Rohan and Jack. Again, he's getting bullied. This man. Oh, but Daz has snuck in. He'll find Rav, so he won't be able to go for last as he would have run into Seraph anyway, but he'll be enough to keep WTF in last. A minute 45 here? At this point, Dream Circle Jerk, they need to be playing to equalize, build up this Uber, get the strongest last push you can going, and just hope it works.
Yeah, like it's almost disappointing from their point of view. Like they've had 2 last pushes, which basically they should have converted, right? Like they've had 2 already missed opportunities. This is the last one they will have of this game. It'd be 60%. It's barely any advantage at all. It's possible they might just want to spam a little bit and try and go when they're on about 80%, try and go a little bit off Uber, get the Uber while they're halfway through the push. It seems like they want to do exactly that. 85% getting through top right. There's so much damage being dealt towards these players on point. The damage is looking super good. The cap time as well. Only 3 players on the defending side now. They have to play nice and chill. They're getting this Uber using towards point, and surely they'll manage to cap this out now, and they will.
And that's the equalizer. What's it now? 4-4. With 48 seconds remaining, I don't think it's possible at this point. Even if you go as fast as you can, all of the pain drains in the world will not wield a round for either team here. So we are looking at a golden cap on the first map in an affair that's a lot closer than I definitely thought it would be going into this. And I think a lot of people that have been following Intermediate as well. Dream Circle Jerk coming out with just some really good play. And I mean, honestly, Jack just maybe not the flashiest in the stats, but god damn, I think he made this first map for Dream Circle Jerk here, forcing it to the golden cap.
Yeah, like it literally, it will not matter for a second what his actual stats are. He was so ridiculously annoying for the side of WTF. Like, the fact that he was an omnipresent threat in every sense of the phrase, like, he got in their heads. Like, undoubtedly, he got in their heads. He was making them thinking about, are there, you know, is there a random spy there? Is there a gun around the corner? Is there going to be, like, a heavy above point again? Like, he was making them think so hard about just the weirdest stuff. And, yeah, like, undoubtedly fundamental towards making this golden cap here. And honestly, like, whenever you're the favorite, right? Like, granted, they haven't lost the first map yet, necessarily, but, like, whenever you're the favorite, and such a clear favorite, and then you manage to kind of lose that round advantage you're managing to get off, like, weird stuff, I don't know, like, they're going to be annoyed. The side of WTF, they're going to be, like, super annoyed. And then even if they get through this, even if they weather the golden cap and they do manage to win, next map you've got Viaduct, which is known as being the weirdest map for off classes. You literally can go NG and heavy and whatever you want, right? Like, and this is going to be an absolute trial by fire for WTF.
Oh man, but I think WTF, I know they have some players. I know the soldiers on their side, Seraph and Feggy, they like to play some of the Highlander class. You know, they don't mind the heavy, the pyro, even a little bit of the spies. So you might see some retaliation come out on product if they feel like it. So that's just, you know, go all in at this point. Commit to the chaos. I want it. I don't want, you know, just like one team coming out with the heavy. I want both teams, 450 heavies on the point. Just
embrace it. Like Brass Beast, you know, like just have like 2 tanks just staring each other across a mid-pipe, like just the whole game. No one else even doing anything anymore.
Yeah, why do you need the other classes? The heavy is the best class. You know, you just oh man. I'm waiting for them to buff the heavy move speed so you don't need scouts anymore and you just run 2 family business heavies. I think that's going to be the new meta 2021, Valve. Hear me out here.
Yep, any second once they provide an update for the game any day now.
That's going to be the heavy update.
My days.
Yeah. Teams are readying up. We've got WTF readied up right now. Dream Circle Jerk taking a little bit of time here just to maybe either rein Jack in a little bit for the golden cap or really let him loose.
They just sit there and go, look, mate, honestly, whatever you want to do, just do it, whatever. I think probably the one thing we haven't seen so far yet is either team opting for crits. And obviously that's kind of like a go-to when it comes to golden caps, just running crits to mid, trying to win a super, super quick golden cap, just off like the surprise factor alone. I mean, obviously, Dream Circle Jerk have already got many surprise factors, but why not add another one into the mix,
Yeah, definitely. And the way these mids have been playing out as well, for the most part, they've been longer mids, and they might just be long enough to get crits while you're still fighting the mid. Especially in some of the rounds, for sure, there would be enough time to build the crits up. So it could be something that teams are considering. We've got we've got an unready. Never mind, the sound's playing tricks on my brain. Yeah, I think just something like WTF. I know they're in a weird place here, right? Like they've got just the constant off-classing and tricks coming out from Dream Circle Jerk, but do they want to change anything, right? These guys are very cookie cutter when it comes to the way they play TF2 off classes, only on last really, and the occasional sniper when someone's feeling it. So, is it something that they're going to be comfortable enough doing to, try and retaliate like I was talking about before, or are they just going to stick with cookie cutter and hope that vanilla can win out and be the best flavor?
Honestly, I feel like if you're on the side of WTF, you literally just think, right, there's a really high chance that Jack's will be doing something weird on mid. Like, if he's a spy and he's going behind, he literally does not matter until a decent amount into the mid fight. So just actually go for a stronger initiation, right? Go for like a fat initiation, go for like a fat commit across point. Like, there's a lot of these extended mid fights where there'll be like 3 or sometimes even all 4 soldiers like standing on the high grounds, just spam each other long range with rockets. And it's just like, okay, well, what if you just put that idea entirely to bed and just go for like a harder, stronger commit, just win the mid fight. If you think you're the better team, take that fast fight, trust in like, presumably what you believe is like a stronger DM, a stronger kind of team fight ability, play that much faster, and then, by the time his entire team's dead, Jack will uncloak and then just die as well. Like it shouldn't need to have that much of an impact if they just go for like a heavier kind of commit instead of these kind of, I don't know, I feel like they can get caught a little bit into that like middle ground. We don't really want to fully commit forward, you don't want to fully commit backwards, then you just wait till someone like runs into enough spam. Yeah. And maybe it's not necessary.
Yeah, maybe not. And playing into that as well, when Jack actually does roll out on Soldier, I feel like he's been dying immediately, which is just, it's a massive relief off the shoulders, right? You don't have to worry about a slow engineer building a gun in Valley, or like a heavy rolling out to mid slowly, or the spy who's just going to uncloak behind your mid. So it might even be worth for them here to just, run Jack on the off class, or even have him just go slower to mid to put the doubt in their mind, right? Sit in flowers and just do nothing for the first 10 seconds. Just something like that, something different to, like, keep him on Soldier, but do something different on Soldier to put that down in their mind, as we do have the golden cap starting now. And I'll be keen to see if either team does pull out something here. If it's more of the same, I'm gonna favor WTF a bit more. We do have Jack on Soldier, and it looks like he will roll out through Choke this time. And go through Cafe as well. You've got Seraph looking to get a bit more aggressive than he has been. He'll get an arrow, and actually you've got a really high bomb landing on the enemy's Cafe. Jack will die immediately, but miss. He has gone around onto Rab. He will get cleaned up before anything can come of it, as you've got Seraph eventually dying as well. And that's going to be the mid. The Dream Circle Jerk will back out before losing any more players. I think they'll be fine with that. You don't want to wipe on the mid here by sticking in too long.
No, exactly. They're going to be perfectly happy to get towards second here. They actually do have a little ad where Rav was by himself, but actually Bonk is getting really nice and aggressive towards this choke. He wants to get some decent spam through with Becky as well. Get a little bit onto Mac here, but not enough to get any kind of force, and no one's looking to commit just yet. Once again, we will find ourselves with a defensive engineer right now. As Jack's making his way there. The deep bomb from the soldier's going to be straight in, though. Actually completely misses his rocket. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Actually could have scooped up Mac then, but not quite hitting those all-important directs right now. So it is going to be just a bit of a stalemate situation. No one on the side of Dream Circle Jerk going to be looking to do anything just yet. I imagine they might just wait for this gun to come up now, just to provide a little bit more security for Mac here.
Yeah, he's yet to heal it off yet, just to level 1. So he's gone on a bit of an expedition to get metal. He'll heal it up, put it to level 2, probably with the ammo pack that'll spawn right next to him. As this is what it's resulted to. We have an engineer and a spy. They know the gun's there. And actually, Seraph is disguised as a friendly sniper, so he shows himself through choke, getting heals. I think he used a voice line or 2 there, so definitely trying to make his presence known. But they don't have a sniper, so it's going to be a completely vanilla sniper. So I think Rohan maybe is caught on here. He's checking some corners just in case, but he'll back up. And Seraph, he's going to try and make something happen. And this is the first time that WTF has actually run a spy in a situation like this for this game. So you might see it, but Mac, he's putting Seraph in a really dodgy spot, looking towards the corner he's sitting in right now a lot. As he might just wait for his Uber to... Not his Uber, he's going to wait for his cloak to come back, a different meter. And he's just going to sit there, gather some intel right now.
I mean, worst case scenario, from his position, he can see that right now, Dream Circle they have no intention on doing really anything right now. They're just standing around, they're spamming a little bit. Obviously, only having one soldier means that if there's going to be a big bomb, it's got to be Rohan, and they can see he's very clearly just happy, quite content, just spamming towards Rohan's side, exchanging some spam with Eggy. So, I mean, yeah, from the point of view of Seraph, he can just kind of play as slow as he needs to. He's going to decloak towards point now. Looks like he's going to walk directly past Jack, who's somehow not quite aware of things at all, and the fail stab's going to get him pounded into the dirt.
Oh no, he got so freaked out by Jack there, he was just going to walk across the point right into Mac, and Jack turned and looked at him, but didn't realize he was a spy. He just had to run away, put himself in that position. But look, a good attempt. You know, they're trying to join the game as Rohan will get cleaned up on his counter sack. And we've got Seraph, he's up on Soldier this time, so they might look at maybe something with the double Soldier here. I'd like to see that maybe have Feggy try and draw the gun's attention from like a wide cafe. You've got Jack or Rohan pretty much alone holding that section when they're up. So maybe take a fight there and do something, but oh, you've got Seraph really far in. Oh, you get the force onto Mac. Really good bomb there, a lot of damage right away, just putting that fear in Mac's eyes. As, yeah, that's... WTF here should just wait for the spawn of Seraph to come up and push through with Uber. They know they have the gun, but Rohan's position here, he's, that's cheeky. He can shoot over the wall there, sitting on, I think it's meant to be the windowsill. He'll actually, his position will get discovered early because of Feggy. It'll just be too tempting, the free damage in the golden cap. Gotta make it look good. As you've got WTF pushing through Cafe here, Demo and Scout on the beam, and they know where that gun is. So they should look at taking this down probably before the Uber. Yeah, Bonk's peeking a little bit here. Rohan will try and get something done, land on the pack, but ultimately get cleaned up. And Rav still hasn't used here, but you've got Mac. Actually, no, Mac is not in a good position. Mac's going to get landed on by Becky and die with the Uber coming out from WTF here. And they're going to clean up in lobby here. Daz should die before this Uber's over. He will. Missed alone behind on 20 health. He will just go all the way back. I don't think he can stop this cap. Seraph knows he's here. And he's on too low health to even go for the pack. We've got fighting on Lark, but that just looks like it's going to be the golden cap for WTF here. And that's a 5-4 for the first match.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
That was... I mean... I respect the full commit, what if we just go Valley? But then they just stood in the doorway. And then, yeah. I don't know. That was optimistic, but whatever. It happens, you know. I guess it happens.
Yeah, just, you know. It does happen, but I want to have a look. I want to have a look at these logs here. We've got the entire main game combined into one, so we can see Jack's stats across the entire game. Along with the golden cap, there's not a lot in the golden cap. Rohan doing some decent damage along with Bonk. But outside of that, just pretty normal stuff for Golden Cap. Some people doing pretty much nothing, and a small amount of players getting a majority of the frags. But let's have a look at this this main game log. As oh my, Davey went 35-8 in the main 30 minutes.
Huh.
That's
35 for 8, and then you draw. I would be upset if I was that scout.
Yeah.
I'd be like, guys, come on, what are you doing?
Damn. That's, 35-8. That's just, 247 DPM, highest of the scouts by a good amount, 1.2k on the next highest, which was missed. And then just, really both demo men getting over 300, pretty normal stuff, but Rohan having a pretty good showing as well, breaking that 300 as well. Only soldier to do so, compensating maybe a little bit for Jack.
A little bit,
a little bit. Having a bit of that roam at life 6-30, but as we've made clear between the the main 30 minutes and the Golden Cap, he was a lot more impactful than the logs show there. So good effort there, honestly.
I think you've got to look at, like, from a pure stats point of view. Dream Circle Jerk had nearly 20 less frags, 2.5k less damage, less Ubers, more drops, less mid-fights, and they still managed to get themselves equal in terms of regulation time. So that just shows that, like, numbers are just, like, it's just stats, right? Like, you can only get so far with them. There's other aspects of the game to be considering. And honestly, like, it was in no way impossible for them to perhaps get themselves into a favorable position on that Golden Cap as well. Like, if they had won that Golden Cap, that would have been one of, like, the hardest fought, like, most deserved, but in the weirdest way, map win I've, like, ever seen.
Yeah, and one other thing that's just really telling is the length of the rounds that each team is winning. Like, WTF, the rounds that they won, there was a minute 20, a minute 40, 4 minutes 30, and then we don't have the other one in the logs, and then the Golden Cap was 5 minutes. Whereas the rounds that I can see here for Dream Circle Jerk, 5 minutes, 9 minutes, and 8 minutes. Like, any time they got to play that long game and just, like, get those off classes set up, get the NG, the heavy into the positions they want to, they ended up coming out on top. And I'm interested to see how they'll do on a map like Product, where the time to get those off classes up is actually not as long as a map like Sunshine. You don't have the ridiculously long rollout, from mid to last or second to second, trying to set anything up. They might have a bit of joy here with the maybe I'm thinking a bit of heavy for Jack here, honestly.
Yeah, there's something to be said for having a really strong, just, like, buffed, safe playing heavy once you have control of point. Obviously, if you're trying to aggro towards point, if you're trying to take position, trying to, like, fight towards, in, like, a disadvantageous position, that heavy's basically just going to eat damage and just kind of suck. But once you have control of point, if you can just keep the enemy team, like, like when they jump into you for forces, they just get, like, pounded to dirt. When they go for a trade, you have, like, a heavy to, like, refight with it as well. If you can keep maintaining that tiny bit of an advantage in terms of, like, health and damage output, you can kind of just, like, chain different situations together and just get more and more time down on the clock. So it's very, very possible. At the same time, I feel like it might be a little bit the other way, where clearly WTF, they like fighting fast. They like, getting things done really, really quickly. And obviously, Viaduct is time sensitive. Everything about Viaduct is time sensitive. It's a fundamental part of the game mode. So it may perhaps favor them just a little bit more in terms of they will get things done. Tiny little mistakes can lead to big disadvantages on their time.
Yeah, and I think also Dream Circle Jerk will need to figure out a way to deal with Davey. 35-8 is, a scoreline you tie on a map like Sunshine. 35-8 is on Product is where you're winning 3-0 with incredible dominance, as we do have the first mid fight of Product coming out here. Bonk getting to mid a lot faster and a lot healthier as well. You've got both soldiers, actually every soldier bombing, but Rav getting the worst of it, surfing right into the point, but that will not matter, as Dream Circle Jerk will just crumble, and it looks like Mac might get a really late death here.
That is not looking too hot at all. They managed to get, yeah, Rav, but that was the only frag they got. All of the fighting on point, every single part of that fight went towards the boys WTF over here. So looking pretty hot already. They are going to be getting their medic up now just a little bit earlier as well. So that late death for Mac is going to be about a 20% disadvantage. It's Sniper on the side of Dream Circle Jerk now, and they can actually look to contest point really whenever they want. Perhaps if they can just get one pick off from the Sniper, they can start to try and contest towards point here. You know that Uber's not going to be up for like a good few seconds yet, but the spam's going to be pretty significant. Deep bomb from Seraph. Actually, it's just going to get him behind him. That's going to be about it, but missing Jack going down as well. It's going to be hard for Dream Circle Jerk to do anything too much more now. Ooh, the stickies from Bonk is significant, and Seraph getting Mac pretty weak here. Not going to secure that frag, though. Oh my god, Mac just seemed intent on running into stickies, but going to keep things nice and equal. Actually, yeah, Ubers are basically equal now. Rav's about to be getting his own about 10 seconds. He letting...
Oh, wait, actually
just about get control of point? Yeah, what is this? Force? That kind of sucks now. Mac's just about to get his own. This should be such a fat repush, right? Surely.
Oh yeah. Rav, he's got no one to chase. Mist will hold off on it, do a little bit of spam. No one on Dream Circle Jerk will end up chasing them, as you have all 5 other players from WTF behind. And they're just going to try and crush Mac here. Seraph's right on top of him, will whiff. And yeah, Mac will live here. And that's... What did I just watch? That was all 5 players behind after the Uber trade there, and Rav just being left alone, having about a 30% Uber disadvantage, and the Sniper staying up on the side of Dubious for Dream Circle Jerk. But they're going to try a forward hold here, and WTF are going to barrel out main and eat all of the damage in the world, all needing arrows, and they're just getting cleaned up left, right, and center. Bonk being the final casualty, and Davey will do the sensible thing and get Rav out of there.
Really, really nice arrow there from Mac, just then keeping Rohan alive. That was really, really significant, because obviously right now playing with a Sniper and no second soldier whatsoever, keeping Rohan to be able to spam both these doorways is super, super important. There's going to be Mac up with his Uber now. Once again, we do see Seraph try and jump in towards his right-hand side, but the Uber has been used here now from Mac. They're going to be absolutely nowhere near getting Rav, though, so... I mean, they're trading an Uber for 2 players here, but Rav's just about to get his own, and the time's still looking pretty good for WTF here. The fire towards the enemy cliff. That looks like he kind of just wants to feed.
A little bit, but they've set Dubious up in the position exactly opposite of where the medic is right now, so Rav does have to wait a little bit. They'll wait until Dubious is all the way out, until pushing in. And Jack is not going to really get a lot done on Pyro. He'll walk into Davey and get a kill, so he'll get off of the goose egg a little earlier than last game. But he's staying on this Pyro, and I don't know how much help that's going to do for them when they're in a situation where they need to push. It actually looks like he's realized this. He's running back to spawn to swap off. Maybe a spy this time, whatever he fancies. He'll decide on soldier. That's a little boring, Jack. Not what I've come to expect of you.
The soldier class? Dude, come on. What is this? 2010? Exactly. Uber's going to get used. Mac's going to get taken out basically instantly. Completely, I guess, misreading that situation. That's going to be the one frag that's needed. But the collapse from every other player is actually just going to pound the rest of them into the dirt. Rav dying before anything else can really happen there at all. It's now going to be 2 individual 1v1s here. That's being sent into the skybox. Take it down, Rohan. But Jack's actually not just about going to be able to get Bonk here. Oh my god. Oh, Jack! What a gamer!
Where he strikes, he doesn't want to shoot people. He wants to whack people and play Pyro. That's this man's goal in life. As you're going to see WTF look at retaking this mid here pretty quickly, just from all of the players dying from Dream Circle. They won't lose anyone else, and their spawns won't chain. And we're going to see WTF reclaim the mid with about 20 seconds remaining here. So, yeah, Dream Circle, they won't have the time to get the Uber here. Neither team will before this fight happens. You've got Rohan and Jack going in really far. Oh, really nice surf. Clean from Rav there onto Cliff. And reading what Jack will do, no pack. That is very nice. As Ubers will even out because of the surfing. Rav didn't heal there, but you're going to see WTF try and push this in while the players are still down on the side of Dream. And they need this fast. Uber's going to come up and with a scout demo on the side of... Oh, no, 98%, so close. Rav will extend it a little bit, Ubering and denying his own team the cap, but ultimately they will get it, and Jack will hide on secret, reloading his rockets as the round ends.
That was super fat. Like, Rav keeping himself alive there, so important. More importantly, getting all of those frags on the Dream Circle Jerk players, and then just giving them cap a point, absolutely fine. Like, their spawns were so garbage. They had to all in, commit to that Uber, and then that one pipe on Max. Like, that was it. Absolutely, like, round-winning stuff.
And they've actually done it again, right on top of Rav. Rohan has landed. Jack dying to it, but Daz will die as well. You've got some players going after Mac here. I think that is Feggy landing on him. Really nice 1-2 into the sky, and he's going to try and get something onto Dubious as well. But it's a little ring around the rosy of the house here. Rohan will try for something as well, and just catch him on the metal sheets. And yeah, just really good medic aggression coming out from both teams on this map. I feel like it's kind of one of the things you need on mid. It's just that early medic aggression if you want to try and win.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, just kind of sitting there, exchanging too much spam, kind of getting players like weak. Like, you can't afford to just sit there beaming weak players on this map, like, at all. You know, you got to be playing nice and fast, which is exactly what WTF is doing. They're getting that first frag, second frag as well. The Deep Soldier's getting 0 damage towards Rav again. He is reading them like an absolute book right now. And, I mean, yeah, WTF's going to get control of point. They're going to kill 4 players there. They didn't manage to get Mac, but they even have themselves that little bit of an advantage anyway. So they are just super comfortable. They may have lost that initial point cap, but that time's going to be ticking down further and further. They need to keep themselves spamming up here as all these players moving to the left-hand side. Both soldiers going so weak inside of Dream Circle Jerk. Uber's getting used now. Mac should actually be able to escape without using as well, so that opens it up for that little repush.
It looks like we do have the crits actually up here on the side of Max, so they're going to wait for a good situation from Taz, but they're going to end up using it too late. I guess losing it in a sense as well. They'll get some kills with it, but not Rav, and that's the one that they want. Daz will try and make something happen late. Get to a good position for the pipe, but nothing ultimately at the end of the day as they tried the crits. They did. They just, I feel like the Uber pushed them into a bad position there, and you've got Rav going into a really safe position here on his own cliff, and the soldiers just don't even know where he is. Jax died immediately upon impact. And he's going to show himself now. Rohan trying for something. He'll land on him, get some really nice damage, but Rav will dodge the second rocket as you've got a 4v4 here. Jack coming late on the spawn though, so he's not there right away. Mist will die before he can arrive, and Mac is going to get locked in here, but Feggy doesn't want him. Feggy wants Dad. Mac comes later as he will hunt for that kill now. One rocket, he will die, trading his life for Jack, who will go for the same type of play onto Rav. But yeah, just another really good exchange there. Minute advantage on the timer now for WTF as they're just cementing their spot on this point. They don't want to be moved.
No, absolutely not. There's been some super good surfs from Rav this game. Like, he's really just like hyper aware of what these soldiers are going to be doing, and is just keeping himself alive in so many important situations. Rohan could be going in deep again, losing his life along with Jack. No soldiers now at all to aggress. There's a massive Uber disadvantage still, and it's going to be every player on the side of WTF. They're just moving forward to spam that little bit more. That means they can go forward, get that spammed out, and then if they take a bit of damage, they can just back up again. You know, they've still got the Uber, still got control of point. 40 seconds left on the clock. Even if every player on the side of Dream Circle just chills, like waits till they get their Uber, it's going to be so hard here. Once again, Jack going in deep, losing his life. Rohan, they will this time finally get the force, and Rohan will get out. That does open things up a little bit, but it's still going to have to be a good Uber, and they haven't been looking too hot this game.
Yeah, and even then they're only on 80%. By the time they're going to push, this time is going to be down at 10 seconds. Then they can actually walk across the point and use the Uber. I think WTF here... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Feggy, big bomb on the Mac, gets him on the cliff. It'll end up being disadvantageous numbers for WTF here, as weapon fire will go down to both scouts, but... at the same end result, you've got the overtime coming in for WTF. They'll be fine with that. 2.5 minutes to amount to push, and they've got 40% Uber advantage. They'll be happy with that. You know, they've got bonk out cliff. They don't even need to worry about the forward hold. Everything is set up for them to just push across here and, you know, just get the second round, to get that one round closer to winning the intermediate grand finals. As they did take the first map, Sunshine, in a golden cap. 5-4 at the end. You've got Jack coming in for the sack. He'll get pushed back. but won't get a pack. He'll get the arrow instead and look for something new here.
To be nice and patient stuff. Uda's going to be out now on the side of Rapidly going in nice and deep. Actually, it is going to be Ian Seraph who are the first 2 deaths here. They'll take down Daz and Mac though, so there'll be no heals in terms of a long fight here. The health is better, but they're just standing there. They know what they need to do. Objective-based gaming, second round being secured here. And yeah, like it is just looking like WTF are just leagues better in terms of this map. They're just playing this so much better.
Yeah, WTFAID just sacrificing himself in the fight there in terms of any damage being done, standing on the point, and you've got a fast bomb coming out from Seraph here. Big damage on the Mac, and Veggi's going to come up with a follow-up landing in Secret, getting the kill along with Daz and Doom, or Dubious. As the sniper goes down as well. Jack was on it, I missed it, because he did absolutely nothing, as the sacks will come out on the Rav, but no, that'll be a wipe for 1 player for WTF, very dominant on product. And this was Dream Circle Jerk's pick, so not going their way, maybe being a bit more comfortable on the map they played before.
That's not ideal at all. Yeah, we will be seeing Jack remain on Sniper, maybe just hoping to get some headshots or even a body shot at this point, you know, try and get the drop onto Rav, but he's maybe not quite aware. Instead, that's going to be a sack wave. They will manage to pick him up though, so not actually too bad. They lose 2 players for it, but now Soldier going super deep and getting so much damage towards these players as well. Like, Jesus, that was really super risky.
This is a forward hold, maybe? No, Bonk's backing up. They'll just leave Seraph in the position in middle, hiding. They'll group around the point, maybe knowing that Dream Circle Jerk are coming close on the Uber. Seraph won't find anyone as the push will come through, but this will put him in a really good position post-fight. The Uber hasn't been used yet. Mac will get so far forward before you think they want blood here, and particularly they want Ravs. But no, he's all the way out with Davey. The moment that was called, they were out of here. Seraph will get missed, who actually missed was on Sniper. So that's something a little different. Maybe, you know, bringing out the big guns for the maybe final round. Seraph, he's just playing games here. They're playing MIDI practice. TR walkway coming out on product here, but Rav has rejoined his team on the midpoint. Rohan Jack trying to get some bombs in onto him, but they will land short on Bonker, who's full health and a buff. As actually Davey and Veggie combine for some good kills onto Mac and the Demo Man. Dubious dying as well as the point does fall. And this is just going to be WTF taking what has been theirs. Soldiers trading on the blue China position. And Mist, he's going to look to make something happen here. First Life wasn't too hot, but this man is capable of great things when he's on, so we'll see whether he is or not. Scoping up Bonk, won't get the shot right away. He's going to try and rotate a little bit around. Oh, we have Dubious on the heavy this time. Jack's been left. They've abandoned him. He's not allowed to off-class anymore. And you've just got the Uber coming all the way in. That's 1-2, and Davey will struggle to find a third onto Mac, as they will actually fall into the heavy. Rav will die to it. But they're still in a poor position here. Mac landing right under Feggy, just in the mixer here. He won't die. He should be able to get... No, he's actually sticking around. Just get minced. Not meeting with his player. Odd decision. Especially with the really long spawn that he's got 10 seconds on the clock there. But this is looking very good for WTF. 30 seconds away from winning the intermediate grand final. And,
yeah, like... If you're on the side of Dream Circle Jerk, it is all fight all the time at this point. Jack, he fully appreciates it. He's like, right, I'm in. I'm gonna throw away my life again. This is way too far ahead from his team. The damage, as always, looking so much better for WTF right now. Cheeky little air shot. He's actually gonna get Fake on the high ground. That's not fair. Come on, guys.
Pickaxes the med. No, don't get Jack as well. Okay, Weapon Fire will steal the glory from killing Jack, but that'll be it. A little bit of overtime, but that won't matter. No one's alive on Dream Circle Jerk. And that will be What the Fuck Am I Doing are your intermediate Season 27 champions, securing their spot in the Premier Division if they wish to continue. And yeah, just... I feel like it was the opposite of what we kind of talked about before this game. You know, like we had... we had Sunshine maybe being a little more one-sided towards WTF. And then the kind of product being that map where it could come back, as I've got Marasmus all up in my ears right now. As I'm gonna have to drop out of the server here while that's happening. Hard to think while I've got an evil man with a skull screaming at me.